league consensus is. Like, what matters is Andrew Berry. If Andrew Berry only has 7, then yeah, stay at 6. If he has 12 to 15 or whatever that number is, then he has to figure that out for himself.
Chris, what would you put the odds of as on a trade back from 6 right now? Like if you were handicapped.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut off the back of your end of your question, but I think the odds that Andrew Berry wants to, very high. I'd put it like
I think you could call that 100%.
Almost 100%. The only I'd leave wiggle room based on how the first 5 picks fall.
Wait, almost 100%? That's not a prediction. That's not a hot take. That's somebody telling you the decision is basically already made. And if that's true, then everything you think you know about what the Browns are doing at pick 6 is wrong. Because this isn't about who they're drafting anymore. This is about something bigger. And I need you to stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see exactly what's really going on in Cleveland. Here's what nobody's saying out loud. If Andrew Berry is at 100% on wanting to move back, then why hasn't it happened yet? What's the holdup? Because there are multiple teams calling, multiple first-round picks being dangled, and a franchise that needs to rebuild. So what's the problem? We'll get there. But first, let me show you how thirsty these teams really are. Right now, the Cowboys have the 12th and 20th pick. They are calling the Cardinals at 3, the Titans at 4, the Giants, the Commanders. Jerry Jones is out here speed dialing every front office in the league trying to move up. And one of those calls is going straight to Cleveland. Now the Jets, they've got pick 2 and pick 16. And according to Daniel Jeremiah, they're another team that could be pushing to move UP to 6. So you've got the Cowboys, you got the Jets, both of them knocking on the Browns' door. And Andrew Berry is sitting there, listening. But here's the thing.
With that, I'll open up for questions.
How did you feel when he expressed no confidence in you producing a winner?
Yeah, Tony, I think...
And that is the tension right here. Because there are 2 completely different schools of thought happening in real time. One side says, Berry wants to move back, almost certainly. The other side says, you had a terrible season, stop trying to be clever. Just take the best player available. And both of them have a point. Here's the math on the Cowboys deal. Trading from 6 down to 12 and 20, that's 2 first-round picks. That is significant capital. But here's the problem. This draft class is thin at the top. Analysts are saying teams only have 13 to 15 first-round grades this year. Most years it's 22 to 24.
Like, no.
So if you're dropping to 16 with the Jets deal,
reap the benefits of
you
that.
are right
Take
on the
one
edge
of the
of
best
that cliff.
players in the draft. So
you might be trading out of
do
a sure thing.
So, and then Chris,
and into uncertainty. And that's not even the biggest part. Think about who the Cowboys want. They're chasing a pass rusher, whether it's David Bailey, Arvell Reese, or Sonny Styles. Now, David Bailey. Slipping to 6? That becomes a completely different conversation for Cleveland. Because if Bailey falls, does Berry even want to move back anymore? Or does he just take one of the best defensive players in this entire draft? And this is where everything shifts. Because here's what one analyst said, and I want you to really hear this. If it's not Carnell Tate at 6, give me one of the best defensive players in the draft. Bailey, Caleb Downs, Reuben Bain, whoever. So the Browns have options, real options. The trade back, the pass rusher, the receiver. Multiple paths, multiple outcomes. But every single one of those paths runs directly into the same wall. And that wall has a name.
Garrett future with the Browns. Chris, where are you with the Myles Garrett thing? Because I thought Riz did a really good job of kind of stripping it down today. And when you really look at it, Chris, the last time we heard from Myles Garrett, he posted a meme of being exhausted the day that Todd Monken was hired.
Sure.
And then the contract adjustment happened. And then Todd Monken continues to say that he hasn't actually talked to Myles Garrett. So when you and he hasn't shown up to voluntary workouts. So when you kind of put everything together, it's like, where is this right now?
But
there it is. That is the story nobody wants to say directly. Myles Garrett hasn't shown up to voluntary workouts. The new head coach, Todd Monken, has publicly admitted he hasn't spoken to him. And the last public signal from Myles himself was a meme. an exhaustion meme, posted the exact day the new coach was announced. Now, is that enough to panic? Some people say no, he's still a Brown. Nothing has happened officially. But think about this. If the Browns draft David Bailey at pick 6, a pass rusher, with Myles Garrett already on the roster, every single analyst, every show, every NFL insider is going to ask the same question immediately. Are the Browns moving on from Myles Garrett? That's not a coincidence. That's a message. And here's what makes this really interesting. The Cowboys, the team calling Cleveland the most, are a team that has been desperate for elite pass rush for years. Jerry Jones, a team willing to pay in-division tax just to move up, a star-hungry franchise. And Myles Garrett, a superstar who just posted an exhaustion meme about his own team's new coach. I'm not saying a Myles Garrett trade is happening, but I'm also not saying it, because the puzzle pieces are sitting right there on the table, and this is what nobody is talking about. The Browns trade back conversation. Everyone's treating it like a simple draft strategy move. But what if it's the first domino? What if Barry moving back, collecting picks, and potentially drafting a pass rusher at 12 or 16 is actually the Browns quietly setting the table to move Myles Garrett this offseason? Think about that. So here's where we land. Andrew Barry almost certainly wants to trade back. That part is basically confirmed. The Cowboys are calling, the Jets are calling, the pieces are in motion. But the real question, the one that actually matters for the next 2 years of this franchise, is this. Is this just a draft strategy? Or is Cleveland quietly beginning a transition away from Myles Garrett? I want you to pick a side right now. Drop it in the comments. Are the Browns building around Myles Garrett or building for life without him? Let's talk about it. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that button. More Browns coverage dropping all week.